we go. We are back for another warm-up show with your hockey coach, local friendship for the beautiful country of Thailand. And we have to go all the way to the Toronto, Ontario to find the co-host, Mr. ENORTAP, back in the house tonight. He's back, Mr. ENORTAP. Welcome back. Thanks to be with us tonight. We can wait to hear from you what all happenings on the weekend. We have a lot of things about this. But first of all, we have a 9 game on the program, Mr. ENORTAP, to talk about. I can wait to see what you have to talk about, honestly, about the 9 game. And we have a lot of surprise so far since the beginning of the season. Sneak Crosby played tonight against the Montreal Canadiens. 2 goals, 4 assists. And with 6 points, the first star of the week, Mr. ENORTAP. Talking about the first star, we're not talking about the star of the last week at the warm-up show, Mr. ENORTAP, because we have a few people perform last Friday before we show to you guys the leaderboard where we at this moment. First of all, the leaderboard, we talk about 3 people per 4 people. Yamo did an amazing, great job again. Yamo last week with Mr. ENORTAP. Both of you have a great Friday night with Mac Bourgie and Marco Larabie for the first time joined the show with a great start with 4-0, all 4 of you guys. So congratulations for this one over there. So honestly, when you hit the perfect game, Mr. ENORTAP, have an amazing, great right. Let's see what Roger has to show to you and enjoy this way. It was the party bus for all of you, Mr. ENORTAP. Enjoy your 1 hour with Roger, and of course, you go to have all the accessories inside this bus. 4 is better to get there only alone because we have a full bus for yourself. It's not very fun, but now 4 people: Yamo, Marco, and you. You're going to have a great time.
We're gonna party it up.
That's a great one about that. And this was complete, Mr. ENORTAP, the first week of the hockey, the warm-up show about the prediction. And I want to bring to you, Mr. ENORTAP, the leader of the week. And that will give you a little bit information here. And the leader of the week, guys, Yamo Virtanen take with the most win with 16, Mr. ENORTAP, following by Jose Duarte, ENORTAP, Ron King, Peter Martin. Then we have myself, and then we have Fernando Tavares, Luciano, Vinny, Kelly, King of Gamer, Randy, Mark, Andy, Danny, Yann, Marco, Chicago, Bear, Richard Mullen, Roger L. They are Mr. ENORTAP, all the leader about the W. But the most important thing is not only the leader of the W, but it's the leader of the number of the point. And that's including Mr. Yamo. Right. Yamo Virtanen take the lead at 18 in front of Jose Duarte, King, ENORTAP, Peter, Vinny, and all the way to the bottom of this leaderboard, Mr. ENORTAP. That was all done and verified by the company Deloitte Smith. They are right now to give us those information. One, Mr. ENORTAP provide all those stat and all the score for them, and they have to honestly to apply and to confirm and this is done deal. Yeah, no change. This is over. And Mr. ENORTAP, you are the reason why those numbers are in this leaderboard. So we want to thank you so much for what you do at the warm-up show. Without you, this would be impossible. It's going to be a lot of, Deloitte Smith changed all the stuff, verify me a lot, but this year is a little bit better. They said this ENORTAP does an amazing, great job. He said, this is really top-notch, and you can understand this very well. So they really want to let you know about this. I just want to sharing what they told me yesterday. It was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday when they talked to me about this. So that's what we have, Mr. ENORTAP. The chat is already on fire. So let's see what we have who we have inside that chat. And we invite you guys, first of all, how this works. It's easy. It's easy to do it. The only thing you have to do is to send us an email. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's it. So you check the 9 game and then you send an email right there at the bottom of the graphic, like ENORTAP show to you guys. HNLS for Hockey Nation Live Show. abbreviation. Then you add the word warm up. at gmail.com. And in our time, we're going to say hi to you sometime. So just send us an email right there. It would take care about this. And then, like I said, they would take care about the rest. So don't hesitate to send us an email. It's at least every day. And if you know the schedule already for the week, you can send us an email with all the 5 days if you want to. We only play Monday to Friday, Mr. Nata. That's it. Weekend, you rest, you relax.
I have to.
Sunday night. And after during the time, you go to the beach, you rest for the weekend, and then you come back to Monday at the warm-up show at 6 o'clock p.m. So that's happening, Mr. Nata. I know you're excited to talk, but let's see what we have in the chat. First of all, we have a few people. We have Mr. Vinny James 007 in the house.
Hey, Vinny. Welcome.
The leader of of course, of this, Mr. Yamo Vartanen. Welcome back.
Yaro, how's it going?
Time to enroll the carpet from the red carpet because he's back with us. The driver, Mr. UNORTAP, Roger, is back with us. Thanks so much, Mr. Roger, to be with the Hockey Nation.
Roger, how's it going?
Joseph Laham, welcome back from Texas. Joseph, the New Jersey Devil, did not start the way he would love to have this team with 0-2 so far, but he expects a little bit better for the upcoming weeks. I think they will be fine. Just take a little bit longer to start the season properly. And we have from Utah, another leaderboard, Mr. Ron Whitking. Welcome back in the house.
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
And he's back, Bobby back in the nuts. Welcome back in the house, Bobby, from Vegas. Bobby is smiling with a big 3-0 from them. They are at the top Vegas. Of the standing, Mr. UNORTAP. The Vegas Golden Knight, and he's signed a double. Bobby is a double man game-winning goal hockey. Welcome back in the house. Thanks so much about this one. My prediction, October is doing well, and the fish tank. So far, so good, Yamo. I'm not sure it's about the fantasy hockey you talk about, but that's a subject for another time about this. I gave him some shrimp. He gave me free winner. He's exactly how it works, Mr. UNORTAP. So the people have not a great week. Go to the store, buy a tank, put water, put some octopussy, and then you put the logo of the team at the bottom. And now he go where he want to get. He give you a really good indication who's going to win the game. Is it the way you don't use those kind of situations? I think you have a llama or something like that in the backyards. I think, Mr. UNORTAP. And then you put the llama, you put two logo at the bottom, and then the llama go, the first time he step on the logo, that's the team you select, right?
No llama for me, no, sorry.
It's not llama.
I use a dartboard.
Here we go. That's a good one about that one for sure. So, we never know. People use those kind of information. We don't know about this. So, glad to hear that for that one. Roger said, why I lost 2 predictions when you never did it yet? Because your brother did it for us.
That's right. Your brother sent them in for us.
Yeah.
The very first night.
Exactly. So that's happening about this. Did you put my point on the third question for Chico? Yeah, Vinny, it's confirmed already. So you are right there. Thanks for reminding me, but it's confirmed. When we're going to play the next game, and you're going to see your point up, Mr. Vinny. And thanks for being a part of the show. Mr. UNORTAP, we have a lot to do, but, so who is going to the jail? We have to wait. Because we have to wait at 5:30. That's to open up the jail. So Roger cannot controlling everything. He cannot drive the bus, and then he cannot drive the bug to go to the jail. So now he's going to take care about the people, celebrate, have a good time, and then he's always smiling better when he get out of the bus to get the bug. And now, of course, someone have to put his suitcase out on the balcony. We're going to pick you up at 5:30. So you still have about 17 minutes to prepare, say hi to your family. You'll be out for 24 hours. Bye. It's just to get there. When you get back, Roger pick you up, and then you come back at like normal. So I was sharing Mr. UNORTAP about this. Miss Kelly is in the house. Miss Kelly, thank you to be a part of the show tonight. But Mr. UNORTAP, we start all the way. And at the beginning of the show, we talk about the first 10 minutes about the NHL news around the league. And I want to show to you a little bit more what are you looking for. Not what you're looking for, but what you pay your attention, Mr. Untitled, and maybe not the last 24 hours because we saw you Friday. So the last, I don't know, like 48 hours or 72 hours, depending how many hours you want to do. And that's happening, Mr. Untitled.
Yeah, well, Sunday there wasn't much happening, right? One of those weird breaks in the schedule that there was absolutely zero games scheduled. So really, it was the amount of games that we had Saturday night, and there was some really good games. I thought the Edmonton Oilers in Calgary, I thought was very exciting game. We saw a little bit of shakiness in Campbell's play. They pulled him, brought in Skinner. I thought Skinner did a great job of keeping Edmonton in that game. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you're rooting for, they didn't win that game. And of course, we had that shootout fest between Minnesota and LA, the 7-6 game. Second game at home for Minnesota, and second time they allow 7 goals. There's some shakeups going to occur there. We'll see. They play again tonight, so we'll see what happens. The other game, we saw the Islanders break out offensively, 7-1 over, I think it was Columbus, if I'm not mistaken. No, Anaheim. And, the Leafs got back on track. We saw Washington defeat Montreal, and Vancouver, unfortunately, losing again to the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers have been a good story so far.
Yeah, that's happening at the beginning of the season, right? Who's going to do what at first 2, 3, 4 game, and then we'll see. This is honestly is a normal, regular most game of the season. We have about 52 game on the schedule this week. We start the Monday to Sunday next week, so we'll be interested who's going to go back on their track, or some team will maybe go a little bit more deeper. And Arizona play a lot of game this week, so we'll be interesting to see what they look like, because so far they gave a lot of goal. Yeah. And they got shot about like 45 shots per game. So Arizona will be in Montreal Thursday. For the Montreal Canadiens, guys, we just talked a little bit at the beginning of the show. But they have 3 games this week, Monday, Thursday, Saturday.
Yes.
They play tonight the Pittsburgh Penguins, where they have an amazing, great start with Sidney Crosby, 6 points, and 2 games is the first start of the week. Thursday night, the Arizona Coyotes are in town. And then Montreal got the Dallas Star this Saturday, 3 game at home for the week's number 2 for the Montreal Canadiens. But the big news for tonight's game, a little bit information, Jake Allen is out with personal affair, where his new baby is coming. He's going to be born. I don't know when exactly it's happening or not, but he will be out. They bring Caden Primo emergency call for the backup of the Samuel Montembeault between the pipe. Same roster for the Montreal Canadiens, so Pitt Lake will be out with Pesera. But some modification in the lineup about the forward, about the line, Mr. Untitled. So Monahan is going to play with Ziski and Caulfield for the first line. Anderson dropped the lineup, and then at the top of the 4 line will be now Jake Allen with Safkowski is going to be a part of this one, Mr. Untitled, with Hoffman. And then we have Dvorak with Dadonov, the 3, and Gallagher together. And then we have the rest of the 3 other players. Anderson is going to be with Kirby Dak. And then I miss Jonathan Drouin, if I can recall it properly. I could be wrong, but I think I am pretty good about this one there. Pairing are the same. Savard, Cooley, Vorasevic with Harris, and then we have, of course, at the bottom, Arbor with Weideman. So this is what we got on that one over there. So, look, we'll be interested to see Montreal, how they're going to respond. They scored only 1 goal, 2 goals the last 2 games, and then the power play 0 in 10. So I'll just resume this in 1 minute, 90 seconds, Mr. Untitled. What is Montreal? About this, anything you want to add? And then, first of all, Mr. Untitled, before we go a little bit deeper, let's see, welcome everybody. More people join us. We have the captain of the Montreal, Danny T, with us. Fernando Tavares, don't move nowhere, Fernando. Don't go nowhere. We want something. We want to talk to you the next couple of minutes, honestly, about 6 minutes. Don't go nowhere. And then we have Denis Rodrigue back in the house. All 3, we appreciate a lot to be with us.
Welcome, guys.
I have a question for you, Mr. Untitled. Which team are you the most impressed so far?
I'm I gotta say, impressed. Again, we got to keep it in proper perspective because we're talking 2-3 games only. So it's hard to really put a blanket statement out there. I'm impressed. I didn't think Boston would come out as strong as they did. So I'm kind of impressed with them. I thought I in the game that Dallas played, I thought that they seem to have a slightly different approach this year. They're much more risk takers. It looks like offensively, they don't just sit back and try to wait for their opportunity to come up. They try to dictate the play, and that bodes well for a lot of their offensive players on that team. Who else? Philadelphia has impressed me. Again, only 2 games, but they've come out. Everybody had them in last or second last in the East, and they've been very respectable so far. You
Yeah,
can tell
absolutely.
that.
About this, we want to welcome back Alain Vaillancourt and RJ Calabro. Thanks both of you to be a part of the show.
Welcome, guys.
I will add this, Mr. Untitled. Great comments about this. First of all, we said the New York Rangers, so whatever they lost, it was a back-to-back night, so I would not be too much difficult against them. I think they did pretty good. I think there's a team right now. They built pretty good. Now, when you talk about the Flyers and you talk about the Vegas with 3W, and you have and Vegas, Detroit, yes. Right? Detroit beat Montreal and New Jersey, bottom of the playoff, of the standing. Vegas beat Seattle. They beat Los Angeles good. They beat Chicago. 2 of the 3 are at the bottom of the standing. It's coming. So when you talk about this way, you have to see who they beat. Flyers, I would give them a little bit more grit because they beat, again, a team they're supposed to play against. So that's pretty good overall for them. So we have to look about this. Pittsburgh impressive for me with 2W, but again, a Tampa Bay Lightning, Mr. Untitled. So the first game is against Arizona. So you have to look about who you beat at the beginning to beat it more. On the flip side, we said to you, Danny, the most disappointed team so far, 2 of them, Vancouver, Minnesota, with the mini goal they gave, and Vancouver get the twice game with a lead. Mr. Untitled cannot hold the lead. So we'll be interested a little bit more during the week what they look like. But for me, that's what I was thinking about. You have to look about when I do my power ranking, I always look at, okay, who'd play again, because I gave them a percentage of the difficulties versus the other teams. So I just want to share with you an explication about this one over there. Just send my position from those said to Untitled. So
thank you.
He said
I would throw New Jersey in there too, Coach.
Yeah. New Jersey, he played against the Detroit Red Wings, so it's a little bit disappointed for them. And then they have I cannot remember the first game.
They who they have?
It was Mackenzie McCarr. And but whatsoever is happening, it's not a big deal. And then Columbus Blue Jacket with 0-3 is a little bit more disappointed about this one for sure. About this, William McClary is on the house and he coaches up. Most of them, Montreal has been competing every game so far. At this point, the rebuild. This is the key about this. So it's a great point about that. For me, at 2 points with Montreal, they compete every time. They was not blow out yet. Tonight, but will be interesting to see that. And then you have Mr. Untitled. They gave away not many goals, 3 per game so far, and then the power play struggle. So that's the 2 areas they have to get. One area the power play have to get better. They have a better chance to win those guys the W, and that's what happening. Anything you want to add, Mr. Untitled?
No, I think you hit on most of them.
It's awesome. Mr. Untitled, I think it's a time to open up the door for Another Way, and let's move on for what we have on the program tonight. But first of all, like we do at the time at the middle of the show, is to talk about the jail. We just celebrate the party boss, Mr. Untitled, and I think it was really good. 4 of you nailed it last week. Congratulations, Mr. Untitled. Friday, you have 4 of them, but now it's time for what? It's to call Roger. And I'm not sure. Roger, sometime, is it Roger? Yeah, Roger said he's coming right now. So be ready. Roger, start the car, is run out tonight. He used the bag number 53, Roger. So he said, look, I have only 1 customer, so I don't need to take the team SWAT truck, I can be in that direction. And then, Mr. Untitled, the door of the open up jail is going to open up. It's coming right now, and we'll see what we are.
Randy comes out. Randy comes out.
Would be who is going to get there, Mr. Untitled, and then, you know. Everybody got the phone call, Mr. Untitled. The one is going to be right there this week, Mr. Untitled. It's Fernando Tavares.
Activities and call 911 for immediate response. Expect delays. Search as a personal property.
Fernando Tavares is right now, Mr. Untitled, on the balcony with Rogers going to show up with his bag over everybody. So is this Mr. Fernando? He went to the party bars the night before. Now he go to the jail. He did everything he's supposed to do for the season, and 24 hours from the top to the bottom, Mr. Untitled. That's what the situation with Mr. Fernando Tavares. Hit the jail for the first time, and you'll be there, Mr. Fernando, for 24 hours. But don't worry, Yamo provide you all the tuna. Roger provide you all the accessories you need to be there for 24 hours. You have your own schedule alone, so you don't have to be, don't worry about this. Big screen TV, internet works. You can watch all the game tonight. So we wish you an amazing, great 24 hours. Good news, you want to be out. Roger will pick you up. Be ready tomorrow at the same time of the day. And during the time, you have a lot of time to do prediction. Well, maybe. Well, we have Roger. He loves to pick up the people. He likes to drive Mr. Untitled. He does this between his two tours. You know, he go at 2:00 in the morning, and that's what he does. When he start to work at 2:30 in the morning, he make his tour, and then he stop at the jail, see what it look like if you had nothing yet. Because you can some fight over there sometime. You have to be careful over there. Yeah, that's the reason you have to be. But everybody is locked, so stay in their bed, everything. So it's really you have to get there to understand more what I'm talking about, Mr. Untitled. But this is the only one we got Friday, Mr. Untitled. So Roger now is on the call for everything could happen during the next 24 hours. So guys, makes a great prediction. Any comment, Mr. Untitled, you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, you see, Fernando, learn your lesson. You partied too hard the night before, and it led you to not study for your picks, and that's why you landed in jail.
I would assume, I don't know what kind of drink Roger put, maybe some kind of pill inside. Though. You have to be careful in the boss. You have to be careful, Mr. Untitled. You never know. Roger is, he can maybe get some kid. Maybe, don't tell anybody, Mr. Untitled, but maybe Yamo pay Roger and he gave him some money, and then he said, look, put some pill inside so I can win again more tomorrow and I can perform a little bit better. So, Roger, can you put some pill inside the drink for ENORTAP tonight? I can see that. Anyway, I just want to see. I don't know, Mr. Untitled, but we know Yamo does something. It's not, we have to check him to be sure. So, go to maybe send the FBI over that. But yeah, Mr. Marco back in the house. Mr. Marco, congratulations.
Hey, Marco.
You did very good last week. Fernando over from the night before. That's exactly Fernando. And Mr. Untitled, maybe you don't know, Fernando is at Portugal, by the way. So
yes, I do.
So that's a good one about this one. That Marco said, I also predict co-finance team will do well tonight. Just gave him hope before my team run away with. Don't worry, Marco. I will be there very shortly about this one over there. And you can scream the fanfare in French, but that's where the most important is the total of the point at the end of the week. So, Mr. Untitled, I'm done right now. I'm done to talk about this. It's all about you now. And we're going to start with that 9 game on the schedule, Mr. Untitled. And that's what we got. I know it's not always properly. The record for you and me are at the top right there. Pretty good. I'm pretty good about this one over there. It's just the problem is it should be reversed about this one over there. So, but I apologize for that one over there. But during the time, you can talk about the first game.
Yeah, our first game, we have Phoenix. Here we go. Arizona and the Leafs. The Coyotes started their season with a brutal. They're going to be on a brutal 8 game road trip. Right now, Arizona is 0-2 on the season, and they're in Toronto tonight to take on the Leafs, who seem to have come around a little bit. The Coyotes are averaging just 2.5 goals per game, mostly led by Gostisbehere, who has a goal and 2 assists so far. It looks like the Leafs will be starting. I thought it was.
Kogran,
Let me just
Cal
check.
Green, whatever they call them.
Yeah. I thought Samsonov would be in, but it is confirmed that it's Shalgren against Vomelka tonight. The Leafs are hoping to win their third straight game tonight. They bounced back after that Montreal game with 2 straight wins. Samsonov has looked decent. The defense hasn't looked great, but it's been efficient enough. And of course, we're waiting for Austin Matthews to break out, and this could be the game for him. So I'm going to take the Leafs to win this game by a score of 6-1.
6-1, Mr. Untitled.
Yes.
All right, I would put this right there. And we have almost the same score. It's just like I feel like 6-2 would be better for me tonight about this whatsoever. I have 0 point last week about those scores, so it's not properly, but we'll see what's happening for that. The second game of the night, Pittsburgh, we talked about the preview of the game already, but you can mention a bit more what you're looking for, honestly, but tell me what you think.
Well, yeah, the Penguins have started the season on fire, really, with a 2-0 record. They've outscored their opponents by a combined 12-4. We've seen that Crosby's gone off to a great start. They beat the Coyotes 6-2 in their season opener.
Yep.
Which off the cusp doesn't sound very impressive, but they did what they had to do, and that's to defeat that kind of a team. They validated it a little bit more when they followed it up with a 6-2 win against the Lightning afterwards. But keep in mind that it was Tampa's second game of a back-to-back. So how much validity to put into that remains to be seen. But with guys like Crosby and Malkin, Letang on the back nine of their careers, like they want nothing more than to make another run at Cup this year, and they have the personnel, because they have their stars that will definitely do what they have to do, and they have a good supporting cast as well. They have Jari back that's healthy. So they're looking good. Will their age catch up to them at some point? Remains to be seen. Will they stay injury-free? I mean, you could say that for every team, but it seems Pittsburgh always has either Crosby or Malkin that goes down at some point. So we'll see what happens there. The Canadians, well, they started off their season with that great 4-3 win at home against the Leafs. But in games 2, they were out, and 3, they were outscored by a collective 6-1 margin. I wasn't overly disappointed. I thought that for such a young defense to only have allowed 3 goals in both nights wasn't the end of the world. They got to learn, of course. I think their offense needs a little bit more consistency, and that's what they're trying to do, and find the right combination of players on the lines, as you said earlier, Coach. So I'm going to take. I think it's too much for them to handle. Allen, as we know, is not playing this game, and Jari's not playing either. So it's the Smith against Montembeault, and I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game by a score of 5-2.
5-2 for that. One thing we want to mention, Mr. Untitled, you didn't mention, is the first of all, I changed the score 5-1. So we see we're missing 1 goal for each of us so far. But I want to mention to you, the Muppet is back. The Muppet. Muppet is back in the building tonight at the Bell Center. Boo or applause or standing ovation, Mr. Untitled?
I think he should get an applause. Are you kidding? This guy did well for us over the course of the year. Ever since we picked him up from Edmonton, I thought he came over, always did what he had to do. He wasn't necessarily a leader, but year in and year out, he performed, and even offensively, he got his stats up there. He just had a bad year at the end, and he's been vilified because of that. So I would definitely give him a standing ovation.
I will not go that direction, never go over 55 points for the Montreal Canadiens. So for me, never been that kind of player he got the money for. So it's a big problem. Secondly, I would say to you, for the reason you want to get out of Montreal, and the way he talked about the coach, put the trash, the boss, everybody, that shows exactly what kind of person he is. For me, I would say no standing ovation for him. He's another player that doesn't want to play Montreal. So for me, he said, you know what? Okay, thanks so much for your service. We're going to send up, we're going to give just a welcome home. But when you go to touch the puck, you're going to say you boo like everything we did in the past. That's the reason, because you're not an hockey player now, play for the Montreal Canadiens. But for me, he did not play the level he should play for the Montreal Canadiens for many reasons. But again, he did better for, it's just like he never reached a 60 point, never scored 15 goals, everything like that. But he was a good player overall, but not to the point that was never going to be remembered like an impact major for the Montreal Canadiens for me, for Jeff Petrie.
Coach. We don't have time to debate this, but not too many defensemen out there get over 60 points unless you're elite.
Well, 6.25, you're supposed to go that kind of the best player, your defenseman of the Montreal Canadiens.
Well,
one of the worst player in the defense, one of the worst player on the power play in NHL on the data analytics.
Was Shea Weber getting that
at the bottom? At the bottom.
No, you have something against them. I don't know.
You consider him as a quarterback in NHL power play?
He did for us when Weber was down. Did Weber get over 60 points? He makes a lot more money than Petrie ever did.
But Petrie, do you consider him a quarterback number one power play in NHL?
Last year he was for Montreal. He was our quarterback because we didn't have anybody else.
Well, yeah, but it's not considered. It's not quarterback. It's just because we don't have the players accessible to get that one there. You cannot consider Petrie like Quinn Hughes, to Letank, the Ekman, the Hosey, the McCarr. I can go all the way like that over there. He's not the number one over there. So that's the reason he get paid for over $6 million, but he did not deliver what we expect as a quarterback, unfortunately, for the Montreal Canadiens. And for me,
whose fault is that?
To put the team down, and the way he talked last season is lucky, because I think he should be out right away after that. For me, you have no reason to say to you, I will not do a standing ovation for him. I would say, thanks so much for your service, my friend. But now we move on with him. That's the only thing I would say to you. He does deserve a standing ovation.
See, this is what we have to do more, Coach. This is the hot seat for another night. I don't want to debate it now, but
question number 3, game number 3, Rangers and Ducks.
Okay, now you got me off my course here. What can we say here? The Ducks, they head up to New York to continue their East Coast trip, which they started from the beginning of the season. After opening up the season at home and barely beating the Kraken, Anaheim isn't exactly set up for like a strong start to the season. They were smashed by the Islanders the other night, 7-1 on Saturday, and they have their next 3 games in the Northeast before at least starting to head west and go to Detroit again. I think the Rangers are showing that they have much more balance this year. You couple that with solid defense and an elite goalie, and this is going to be one team that's going to be very difficult to beat. I'm going to take the Rangers to win this game by a score of 4-2.
So again,
for the Rangers,
4-2.
4-2.
That's a good one over there. I would go with the Rangers, Mr. UNOTAP. I put this right there, but it's supposed to be right there. But I would just change just a little bit later. I put the score 5-2 for me, Mr. UNOTAP.
Okay, that's good too. Yeah. And I'll go on to the next game. We have Florida and Boston. Should be a great game, I think. Looks like it's Bobrovsky against Ullmark. That's going to be in net. The Florida, they're going to travel to Boston here. They're 2-0 so far this year. They were the highest scoring team a year ago in for the entire season, obviously, and in the league. But as we know, they bowed out in the second round of the playoffs. There's been a lot of changes, as we all know. Kachuk in, Huberdeau out, basically, is what it sums up to. On Saturday, Florida, they outshot Buffalo 37-27, and they did not allow a power play goal during their 4-3 road victory as well. Kachuk so far has looked very good. Aaron Ekblad has looked very good as well. Montour added, I think, a couple goals, if I'm not mistaken, and he's also helping out on the power play. The Bruins, on the other hand, they finished fourth last year in the Atlantic with 107 points, and they led the league in shots against. So something that they've corrected, I think. So far, it looks that way. They have consecutive games to start the year. They've won consecutive games to start off this year. And they seem to be getting balanced scoring. Like in their first game, it seemed to be their stars that were scoring. In the second game, it seemed to be some of the more role kind of players that were putting in the puck. And that's what you want to see, right? You want to see a team effort, especially when you have the injuries that they do at this point. They all have to contribute to some degree. So I think this is going to be a very close game.
We have a breaking news, Mr. Untitled. Montour out for tonight.
Montour, okay.
And they play only 5 defensemen. Just want to, if you want, maybe. I tried to shun you pick, so.
No. It's okay. I'll still say the same. I think it's going to be a game that could go to overtime, and I like the fact that Florida is paying much closer attention to details on the road so far this year. I know it's early. Last year it seemed to be their Achilles heel. They were great at home, but on the road they were just sort of mediocre. So I'm going to take Florida to win this in overtime, 4-3.
Florida 3-2?
4-3.
4-3.
Yeah.
So you just said they are not good on the road, but now you said they will win at home on the road.
No, you didn't listen to me, Coach. I said I'm glad to see that this year they're paying more attention to the details that are needed to win on the road. Because last
Boston
year
won at home 4-2.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. I forgive you.
Liv cannot score 6 goals, Coach Tony. Yeah, they play again in American Hockey League tonight, Mr. Tony.
That's the thing.
People
Next, we have
try
Vancouver.
to put me mad tonight.
You're just angry at Petrie. That's all it is. Let it go, Coach. Let it go. Okay, so what do we got next? We got Vancouver and Washington. So Demko against Kumper. The Canucks continue their 5-game road trip tonight when they play Washington. They've yet to win a game this season, losing both games that they've played so far after blowing a couple of leads. One game, I think it was 3-0. The other one was 2-0, and they blew both of those games. The Capitals finally got their first win of the season against Montreal the other night. But to be honest with you, I wasn't overly impressed with the Capitals in that game. I know they did enough to win the game, but I thought Montreal was a bit flat after I'd say the midpoint of the second period. And sort of Washington took over at that stage. So even though they've lost both games that they've played, the Canucks actually have the edge on both sides of the ice. on the attack, the Canucks are better at generating pressure as they rank 8th in expected goals, while the Capitals rank 27th in that same category. The lack of pressure, which could be attributed to all-star forwards Backstrom and Wilson being out on the IR, has caused the Capitals to rank 26th in goals scored per game. So they're well below what they're accustomed to seeing. It's more of the same defensively as well, where the Canucks are they need to really tighten up things, is I guess what I'm trying to get at with Vancouver, with their defense. I think they got a couple of good players that can offensively contribute, especially Quinn Hughes, but they have to really work harder at keeping the puck out of their own zone. So I am going to take, I think this will be a close one as well, but today Boudreau really put him through the ringer in practice, and he's changed the line combinations as well to try to generate a better balance. So I'm going to take Vancouver to win this game on the road by a score of 3-2.
3-2. I have 4-3, but I will give you 3-2, Mr. Untitled.
Thank you, sir.
And I have 4-3 for Vancouver. So we are agreeing about that one over there. So that's pretty good.
So far we only disagree once. And Petrie. Okay.
Petrie? Oh, yeah. Vinny talked the Canucks went over the Capitals, Mr. Untitled, for him. And so Chicago go to jail. All right. So next game, Mr. Untitled, game number 6.
So we got LA and Detroit. The Kings are in Detroit to face the Red Wings in Little Caesars Arena. The Kings are 1-2. I believe, yeah. Are they 1-2?
Yeah, 1-2, Mr. Untitled.
Yeah, 1-2. Yeah, and they're sitting right now in 6th place in the Pacific. I've kind of been sort of surprised by their defensive play. I thought it would be a little bit stronger, but we'll see what happens. Offensively, they're averaging just over 3.5 goals. And I think they're averaging around 30 shots per game. The Kings are just over 21% on their power play opportunities, and I think at 54% in their face-off wins as well. So that's not too bad. Where they get themselves into trouble is on the defensive end. They've allowed 4.6 goals per game. They've allowed 36 shots on net. Their penalty kill is only at around 70%, which is way too low. Expected goalies for the Kings, I think tonight is Quick and Husso, if I'm not mistaken. And Quick has been okay, but his save percentage is just over 900 right now, which is not going to really cut it. I think it has to be a little bit higher, especially for him. He's got to keep him in games a little bit longer. The Red Wings, they're 2-0, but as Coach mentioned earlier, keep in mind who they played in that time. Offensively, the Red Wings have averaged 4 goals and 31 shots per game. The Red Wings are 0% on their power play so far, which is shocking to me, given some of the talent that they have on that team. And they've only won about 43% of their face-off draws. So those are areas definitely of in need of improvement if they're going to do anything. I like the Red Wings in this matchup. Detroit is better offensively and defensively, and so far from the Kings. So I'm going to take Detroit to win by a score of 4-2.
4-2. All right. 4-2, Mr. Untitled. Let's move on to the next game now, Mr. Untitled. No, just kidding. Leicester King beat the Detroit Red Wings, but it's called 4-3 tonight, Mr. Untitled.
And I knew you were going there. I knew
Kings going to build with the momentum of the 7th goal, and then Detroit did not impress me until they don't beat the top team in NHL. Now they're impressive. The fact they beat Detroit and Montreal, but for me, I would have to see they beat Toronto or they beat Tampa. They go down again that direction, Mr. Natap. Pas de
I
monkey
get
back
it.
in the house. Back the monkey welcome about. Alain Veyako, it's happened sometime. It's all depend. It's a YouTube channel decide to go that way. A 5 second usually, Alan, or whatever it is. So that's how it works usually. That's one thing I can tell you about this. So, Mr. Natap, let's move on now for the next one
What do we
of the
have
day.
next?
And I'm going to remove it's Colorado, Minnesota, Mr. Natap.
Oh boy, this is going to be a doozy, I think. Colorado won convincingly in its season opener, which included the banner raising event of the cup and the debut, of course, of their new goaltender Georgiev. But then, the host Calgary, they took it to the defending champions the next night. I know it was a back-to-back, so we always have to look at that as well. The Avalanche have had a few days to sort of brush off that 5-3 loss to the Flames, and next are going to be taking on Central Division rival Minnesota. The Wild are a bit in disarray. They're 0-2. They've allowed 14 goals in their last two games. They're in the midst of a 4-game homestand, so that's not the way they envisioned opening up their season. But nevertheless, I like the fact that Zuccarello called out the entire team that defensively they have to really tighten things up. Fleury heard around the booze when he was pulled following 4 goals that he allowed on Saturday when they were playing the Kings. In the 2 games, Fleury right now has a goals against of 8.37 and a save percentage of 0.775, which is not his usual kind of numbers. But you can't blame him completely. Like I said, the defense has looked way out of whack. Like they're just not. They're missing coverages. They're pinching when they shouldn't. They're giving odd men chances. You got to help out your goalie a lot more than that. Colorado has shown again that it can score, and this is still with Landeskog out of the lineup. I think that their goaltending situation is no better, no worse than it was last year. So I think they're fine in that area. So this is going to be a tough one. I went back and forth with this. I think Minnesota could respond to that call out by Zuccarello to the rest of the team, but I'm not going to go against Colorado. So I'm going to take Colorado in overtime here by a score of 4-3.
Zuccarello is out. Gustafsson is the goaltender, Mr. Natap.
No, Zuccarello's not out.
Yeah, confirmed by ENORTAP.
Why? When did he get hurt?
It's undisclosed, questionable for the game Monday night.
Interesting. Okay. So in that case, I made the right choice. Colorado, 4-3.
Monto Oberbody is out tonight per the Cats PR. Rand Kirk is in the house. Welcome aboard, Mr. Rand Kirk. Thanks to Willie Will, myself, Fiala, and Napoleon. So much money to go around through about this one there. And we have Alain Vaillancourt. Welcome back in the house. I think I have someone else. Oh, Eagle Frank 86. What's sorry about that, sir?
That's good, right?
But thanks to be a part of the show tonight. So now game number 8.
Number 8. Like the entire league is heading into Monday's slate, having had obviously Sunday off. So a lot of opportunity to sort of reflect a little bit over what's happened so far. And the Jets and Stars are already teams on rather, I would say, even footing. It was Dallas that finished slightly ahead of Winnipeg last year to make the playoffs. These two teams always play each other very, very closely, very, very tight. Each of their 4 meetings last year finished by scores that were decided by 1 goal. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they split those 4 games. Although all of their games were close, it was still the Stars shining brightest in 3 of their 4 meetings. They also won both their matchups against the Jets in Dallas, so that seemed to be a factor, the home ice advantage. With this game, also being a home contest for a home game for the Stars, and how strongly they were against Nashville in the game that they played them, I think Dallas will pull this off and win by a score of 4-3.
4-3
for Dallas.
All right. We have something in the same area right now.
Yay!
We did it perfectly good on that one over there. We have to welcome Mr. Jerry from Sweden. Mr. UNTITLED, welcome back, Mr. Jerry.
Welcome, Jerry.
Last game of the night, Mr. UNTITLED, easy one on that one.
You think? Okay, so the Hurricane, they stay on the West Coast as their 5-game road trip continues tonight against the Kraken. The Hurricane are perfect on the season, winning both.
It's funny you said that, Mr. UNTITLED. The Hurricane stay on the West Coast. Yeah, exactly what happening. The Hurricane Yan hit on the West Coast. So
that's right.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's pretty. You like to play some kind of words like that.
The Kraken have they picked up 3 points early on so far this year, so that's good. I like some of the signs I see from Seattle. I anticipated that their offense would be a little bit stronger than last year. So far, knock on wood, they've been healthy as well, so that contributes to it. The Hurricane, they've looked every bit the part of a championship team through their first 2 games. The offense has been impressive, given a team that doesn't score much, and they've taken advantage while they're on the attack as well. They've been putting a lot of pressure on their opponents, and that's something that, even though they were doing it last year, I see a difference here. I like their balance with their lines that they have. And like I said, when they get back Pacioretty, I think this team will be a definite cup contender in my eyes. So it's not a surprise to me that they're continuing the way they have been so far. They rank right around the top 10, I'd say, in that stat as well for offense. And I just think that, if they stay healthy, their goaltending situation is strong, their defense is strong. They just have to learn how to win on the road a little bit more than they did in the playoffs last year. So we'll see if that fortune turns around for them. But I take Carolina to win this game. But I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. I'll take Carolina to win 3-1.
Lower score.
Lower score, yeah. Under. I took the under.
All right. On that one over there, I will go with Carolina, but 5-2, Mr. UNTITLED. I'll go over on this one over there. That's how I see that one over there. So that's concluded, guys, Mr. UNTITLED. The 9th game of the night. That's a great performance of you again with all the knowledge and all the insight we got tonight for the 9th game. We'll be interesting. We invite everybody, Mr. UNTITLED, to, of course, to send us an email right here on the...
Don't forget.
HNLS.warmup@gmail.com. That's the way you can do that. If you want to have your name at the bottom, at the top, to go to Party Boss, you have to hit tonight at least a minimum of 7-2. I think you're going to be qualified to get a boss if you got 7-2, 8-1, or 9-0. At least someone beat you. Now, if you go into jail tonight, it's a minimum of 3-6, Mr. UNTITLED. And if someone is worse, but that person go to the jail with Roger, going to pick you up. So you're going to see, very interesting. You have easy game at the beginning of the night at 7 o'clock, but then after that, you had the difficult game in Sonata, the Boston Bruins, the Colorado, Minnesota. So you have a couple of good matchup where it's not easy to pick up a choice. So if you play for 600 tonight, congratulations. I think that'll be overall pretty good about this one over there. We want to remind everybody we're going to shut down here. We're going to be back, Mr. Untitled, in about 5 minutes for do the play-by-play game tonight. That's what we have on the program. Then we're going to be back tomorrow night, you and me, at 6 o'clock for another busy night in NHL. So anything you want to looking for tonight, Mr. Untitled, like you do at the outside of this outro, what you're looking for the next 24 hours, we're going to say about tonight.
I think you hit on the key ones there, Coach. I'm looking forward to that Colorado-Minnesota game. The Winnipeg-Dallas game should be a dandy as well. Even to a lesser degree, the Vancouver and Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. About this Boston, Florida will be another interesting game to follow.
Yeah,
you're going to see some teams going to get their first loss possibly of the night of the season so far. We want to welcome, before we leave, Mr. Roger Bush-Bouchard. We invite everybody, guys, before you get out, click on the like. That'll be great. I can wait to see you for the play-by-play in the next couple of minutes. Mr. Untitled, again, you did it.
You are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Here we go, Mr. Untitled. Another great performance of you at the warm-up show. We invite everybody, don't forget to join us. Until the next time, Mr. Untitled, baby, will be helpful and will not only dominate your day, but find the way to dominate your second half of what?
You're 2022!
He did it again! Have an amazing, great night, everybody. We love you, people.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
Thank you so much, sir.